with opening prayer. Can anyone lead us in the opening prayer?
Assalamualaikum. Well, very excited. It seems we are getting it wrong. We just have to welcome the members on the call. Then you hand over to the chairman. Sorry, sir.
Okay. So, introduction of guests. First of all, we have to introduce our AMSA president, our able AMSA president, Hafiz Suleiman Abdul Kudus. You are welcome to the program, sir. Walaikum salam wa rahmatullah. Then also the vice president, I don't know if he's available. Brother Arowoshere Abdul Kabir. Okay, seems he's absent. Then our Vice President Southwest, Brother Saula Sherifuddin. Yes, sir. Then our speakers for the program, our Naib Ishayat MK Nigeria, Brother Olarewaju Abdul Qadri. Assalamu alaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
It's a pleasure to be here today. Yeah,
Thank you, sir. Then our second speaker, our project designer, Farm Pro Analytics, Brother Habib Tijani. Assalamu alaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Brother Habib.
Oh, this is true. Okay, there's content from this.
Okay. Assalamu alaikum.
Yeah, well, it sounds like I can hear you loud and clear. You can continue.
Okay. So that is for the first program of events. Then the program continues from recitation from the Holy Quran. Assalamu alaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Assalamualaikum
Alaikum salam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Walaikum salam.
Brother Alaka, yes, you can go on.
نعم. السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. فقلت استغفروا ربكم إنه كان غفارا يرسل السماء عليكم مدرارا ويمددكم بأموال وبنين ويجعل لكم جنات ويجعل لكم أنهارا ما لكم لا ترجون لله وقارا وقد خلقكم أطوارا ألم تروا كيف خلق الله سبع سماوات طباقا وجعل القمر فيهن نورا وجعل الشمس سراجا والله أنبتكم من الأرض نباتا ثم يعيدكم فيها ويخرجكم إخراجا والله جعل لكم الأرض بساطا لتسلكوا منها سبلا فجاجا. Translation. And I said, seek forgiveness of your Lord, for he is a great forgiver. He will send down rain for you in abundance, and he will strengthen you with wealth and with children, and he will give you gardens, and he will give you rivers. What is the matter with you, that you expect not wisdom and steadiness from Allah? And he has created you in different forms and different conditions. Have you not seen how Allah has created 7 heavens in perfect harmony and has placed the moon therein as a light and made the sun as a lamp? And Allah has caused you to grow as a good growth from the earth. Then will he cause you to return thereto, and he will bring you forth a new bringing forth. And Allah has made the earth for you a wide expanse, that you may traverse the open ways thereof. Allahumma arhamna bil Quran. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Prince,
Now, yeah, I'm back. So sorry, I was logged out earlier. So can I continue? What is the next thing? Mhm. Is
no,
it
no,
done?
it's you, sir. Yeah, he's done already. He's done already.
Okay, all right. Now the next thing is the opening address by the national president. Now, Assalamu alaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Alhamdulillah Rabbil Alameen. And we invoke his blessings upon the beloved Prophet Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam, the promised Messiah Alayhi Salatu Wasallam, and us the followers. I mean, the respected invited guest speakers, starting from the esteemed Brother Abdul Qadir and Brother Abid Tijani, all the national executives present, and the states presidents, and the members in presence. I welcome you all. So, although for now, I would not want to say much because there is really no much people on call right now. So, what I would say as my welcome address right now is that all the executives here, and the president, the few presidents that we have here, and even the members should go and ensure that other people join right now. If you are unit president, especially your PROs, the PROs, the executives, and then the members, please let's ensure that they are all here right now, because this program is for them, it's for us, is to enlighten ourselves on how we can carry out our responsibilities as AMSA members. But when those people are not here, I really don't see any usefulness in those talking within ourselves, when the majority of those that are on call right now are not those who are the target audience. So please reach out to your executives and members to join. It is for them. So secondly, in a nutshell, what the program is about is to shed light on strategies that can help us, like in communicating our beliefs better. So, and we can see from the two topics to be discussed that this whole discussion will be primarily centered around two aspects, and that is the physical communication aspect and the online and the communication of our belief in the online space. So, but I'm sure that there might be a lot of emphasis on the online part. So, but in the first place, we should always first think about the physical aspect as well, and I'm sure there might be some tips on that. But more importantly, the virtual space. Yeah, it is a known fact that um, students, as we are, like youthful, we make use of the social media a lot. So, and it is actually a good place to start with communicating what we what we take as our beliefs, what we take as our doctrines. So, what are the ways, what are the strategies we can effectively communicate um, well with our target audience? So, that is what this seminar is about. And it is on that note that I still want to iterate that we should go and reach out to those who should be here. In fact, all AMSA members should be here. But most importantly, the public relation officers, the public secretaries, and every other executives at least should be here. Please reach out to them immediately. Call those who are supposed to be here that are not here to join. So because you can't afford to miss this. If you miss it, then that means we are lagging behind in our primary responsibilities. So, and I pray that Allah does not take us responsible for all these small lapses of duties. So, I pray that whatever is going to be said during this will be beneficial for us, and I pray that He support as we strive in His path. And I want to appreciate the speakers once again for the low number that we have right now. Okay, all right. The next on the program is the first lecture, and that is going to be anchored by the respected Brother Abdul Qadir Olariwaju, who is the Naib Muhtamin Ishayat Majlis Khudamul Ahmadiyya, Nigeria. He's going to be addressing the topic strategic communication and public engagement. You're welcome, Brother Abdul Qadir.
Okay. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
وعليكم السلام ورحمة الله وبركاته.
Okay, firstly, it is with great humility and purpose that I welcome you all to this important national organization seminar. And I begin by praying that Allah blesses our time together and accepts this program as a service to His cause and accept it as part of our acts of ibadah. Firstly, I would like to appreciate the leadership of AMSA Nigeria for finding it thoughtful to organize these events. And of course, as we know, the world is changing and it's going to keep evolving. The new media now are the content creators. The rate at which people consume news, people consume information. If you have to compare it, like if you have to study how the rate at which people still listen to praise organizations and the rate at which they also consume online content, we'll see that as we have it now, people are tending more to consume information more on the internet. Organizations not only relying on it, it tells us that the importance that we need to keep talking about and see how we can use these platforms to pass our information and execute our mission and vision. So today I have the pleasure of speaking on a topic that defines our role as media analysts, as students, leaders, and also as content creators, and most importantly, as members of this divine community. So the topic is, as mentioned by the esteemed President, strategic communication and public engagement. So before I move forward, I would like to confirm if I'm very clear and audible.
Yes, sir, you are.
Okay, thank you. So, and I must also acknowledge that we are behind schedule. So I would like to just, though I will try to be explicit to explain some things to detail and as necessary, but I also try to summarize some points to save our time. So, and I would also like to apologize for not having a presentation to share. I just have a notes that I prepared. I'm going to send it. Hopefully, it's going to be shared with the members and those that are not able to join the program after the event, inshallah. So going forward, so as we have it in the topic, strategic communication and public engagement. So as we know, of course, we all know what communication is. It's just the strategy part of it that we all need to see how to go about it. So strategic communication is more than just speaking and posting. It is about intentional messaging backed by purposeful planning to achieve clear and beneficial goals. And for us as AMSA members and for AMSA as an organization, it is the voice of Tabligh. It is how we present the Jamaat, the Islam, and also the truth of the promised Messiah alayhi salam to the world in our local campuses, communities, and digital spaces. So in the simplest terms, strategic communication answers these questions. One is, what are we saying? And why are we saying it? Also, who are we saying it to? And what do we want them to do with it? So these four questions: what are we saying? Why are we saying it? Who are we saying it to? And what do we want them to do? Just to wrap it up, I'm hoping that we'll have some time to elaborate this more, but just in case, so I would like to shed a bit of light on it now. So what are we saying is 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 more of the strategy and the way we are planning our content in a way that it's going to inspire, educate, and enlighten our audience. So that will lead us to why we are saying it. So we are saying it because it's going to educate, it's going to inspire our audience, and it's going to let them know of our mission. So who we are saying it to. So this is just our target audience. So of course, as AMSA members, as AMSA as an organization, major audience are students on campus. So what do we want them to do with it? So this is just like the CTA in every information. CTA is called to action. So after a post, in a campaign or in whatever communication we pass, there's always something that we want people to know, or that we want people to do with it. So this is what this is about. So going forward, so
So I come back to I don't know if so on my own end, your voice is breaking.
Assalamualaikum.
Voice is low, sir.
Okay, so it seems I had a network issue.
All right.
Okay, apologies for that. It's part of what we are going through in the nation. So going forward, I don't know where like the last part of what I communicated before I was, but just like I've just started talking about the second part of the topic, which is public engagement. And what I was trying to explain is that it's also a follow-up to the first part of the theme, which is strategic communication. So this is how we engage with people and how we find a way to communicate with them. So so talking on this, you can publish 10 posts in a week. If Assalamualaikum. I,
Are you
I apologize once
Baba?
again. I'm trying to switch my network now. Sorry. So going forward, so I was mentioning that it's possible that we make a post, we make like 10 posts in a week, and so we can make 10 posts in a week, and if none of them is doing justice to what communication is and to what public engagement should do, like resonating, educating, inspiring, or even inviting our audience to act on what we want them to do, then we've just broadcasted and not engaged our audience. So through engagements and through communication, in this this it should experience, and not just also it should prompt dialogue through our contents. So through our communications, through our engagements with people, what we should be expecting from what we post, DMs, it should be comments, mentions, or at least likes and more impressions. So and also through engagements is that we should be present and act on platforms where our audience is. So uh, and of course listening as much as we speak. So these are key things that a public relations officer or a social media manager should know and also have and also be working with. So uh, we shouldn't just be making announcements or making posts just to ensure that we have content to post, but we should ensure that what you are posting has something that it's achieving. So it should be among all what we've mentioned here, and also to know what will go, what will create impression, what is going to pass value. A peer officer should be someone that is listening to to the audience, like seeing which or what posts has impressions and what is the trend going on. So in order to know how to communicate and pass value on that subject. So the AMSA mission and the tablik mindset is what next I'm going to be speaking about. So let us be reminded that we are not just regular student bodies. We are members of Ahmadiyya Muslim Jamaat, and that alone makes us responsible. That makes our responsibility divinely inspired. So our content, our responses, our voices must always reflect the 5 points mission of Tabligh. So which are to present Islam with clarity, to refute falsehood with wisdom and guidance, to support the Jamaat's institutional activities, to strengthen the spiritual and intellectual identity of Ahmadi students, and also to promote peace, dignity, and civility in all discourse. So every post, caption, every visual we we share must must reflect uh, around these 5. All should aim towards achieving peace, righteousness, or knowledge. So the pillars of effective content strategy. So as I've earlier mentioned, there are some keynotes that a peer ensure that he or she is aware about, or even as AMSA member, we we should know in order to know how to communicate, how to go about posting online, and how to pass value to what how to add value to what you are posting. So first we we must know our audience, and with this we must find we must use key insights. So we must ask, are they Ahmadis, are they students, and do they need education, motivation, or redirection? So this is going to guide our tone and format of what we are going to post. So also we should define our objectives. If we want to inform, if we want to inspire, if we want to mobilize or clarify. So every post should serve a clear purpose. So as we have it uh, in every company, there are social media managers or their PR officers. These are the key things that they post about. When a company is starting to get created, the aim of such company of or the PR team is that to make posts that are going to make awareness of such organization. So then of course it's after then that they now tend to what they do, like inform people of what they want to know about them, and inspire uh and also add value to what they are they have and what they want to say. So for AMSA as an organization, we of course we have the awareness to a good extent. People are informed of about us. AMSA has been established in Nigeria for over 40 years now. So of course that doesn't mean that everyone is already informed. So we have to also keep 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 trying to to get people informed. Okay. So going forward, I would like to skip these parts. I will come back to it. Uh so the content types to use, we AMSA as an organization, of course we know uh, uh, we we have the power force of students, and as we know, as part of what is trending now, youths are a lot of youths are now becoming content creators. So, and we as Ahmadis, we know what we should do and what we shouldn't engage in. There are some trends that we can jump on and find a way to 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 find a good tone and pass our message through such trends. And of course, there are also some others that we can't engage in because of our mission, our vision, and what we represent on campus. So part of what we can think of for content, I'm just going to mention them briefly now. So it can be something around inspirational quotes, something about event recaps, testimonials, educational posts, and something like day in the life of AMSA students. So um so posts like this are going to serve as reminders and also upliftments for our audience. They're also going to highlight Jomot activities and also share AMSA story. Uh, and also, of course, uh, posts like educational posts are going to clarify Islam and fight against misinformation. So, an example of this is the light of guidance that AMSA is currently running, and with videos like explaining if a Muslim should listen to music. So such contents are educational posts that we can always embark on. So one major thing that we also need to know, like there are metrics that we should always uh always think of. And first is uh we have um we have something we call ROI and also CTR. So ROI is, so in social media, ROI is how we measure how much value, or for some companies that engage in sales, so how much profit they make back from compared to what they spend. So for AMSA as an organization that doesn't sell, but just we engage in posts to educate people. So things that we know that we we that are going to be our ROI. Of course, after you've spent a lot of time, a lot of efforts making content, making designs, making videos. So there are certain metrics that we often need to be checking to know if what we are doing is right, or if there are some ways that we need to, if there are some adjustments that we need to make to it. So uh, so uh, to to track this, so if we embark on a post, if if we embark on a campaign, so part of what we need to know and always check for, if we are making more followers, if we are making more impressions, if we're having more engagements on our posts. So if we are making contents and the contents are yet to, although sometimes it takes time to have engagements on posts. Of course, sometimes what we think will work will work, and sometimes it won't. So but with our ROI, with what we post, when we measure what efforts we are making with it, and what the outcome is making. So we can always make adjustments to this. So also the CCR is clicked through it. So when we make, so there are social media tools that are used for this. When we make a post and we attach a link to it for people to go to visit our websites through those links. So these are ways to see how to see how our our posts are getting audience. So imagine, so if we make a campaign now, and and we have 1,000 a person, so it means the post is viewed by 1,000 people. So, and if half of the post of us and the post has a CTA, like a call to action for our audience to visit our website or to read more on whatever we post on our website. So, and such posts also, after we know that 1,000 people are those that saw and heard that particular post on social media. But those people but the number of people that visited our websites is around 70 or 80. So it means that maybe there are some adjustments that we need to do to such posts. Maybe it's the caption that is not captivating as it should, or maybe there are ways that we need to improve the way we write, and or perhaps maybe our maybe we need to improve the quality of our design and some things like that. So these metrics are very important because they are what uh they are what tell us the result of what we are doing. If what we are doing is passing value, or if our audience is uh is getting value from it, whether it's getting them informed, or if they are getting a value from it, or even if it's entertaining them. That's part of what a social media content should do. So just to explain this more, I think I have less than 5 or 10 minutes more, so I'm just going to be rounding up now. So this year's HTML, during the Kodami HTML, there are some contents that we made that we found out that we had more engagement through them. That or part of those contents are there is content that or maybe so we have like 5 people or some people that made a video like I'm 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 Mubarak, and I'm passing I'm passing the mic to the person that is taking care of the kitchen at the tema. So that person, so it's of course we know such contents like passing the mic, passing the ball, and passing something to, and of course adding a message to it. So we found out that like the impression we had on that video is more than 8,000 impressions, and we had like almost 2,000 likes for it. So such video or such content tells us that these are kind of the contents that our audience wants. Um so of course, we as an organization, that our aim is to of course promote Islam. So we can think of such contents that are not very serious, and of course still exciting and entertaining people. These are why metrics like ROI and CTR are important for us to evaluate what we are posting and see the engagements we have to it. So so on still on the content, so we have something we call lo-fi content, LOFI. So there are contents that refers to casual, natural, and less edited posts. So there are stories, they can be mobile videos, they can be behind the scenes, and they are cheaper to make. They are more authentic and they are highly relatable. So an example of this is maybe like a snapshot of remote work or brothers preparing before events, short reflective thoughts working doing a while working in the campus. So these contents are often generated by users. So for example, now as Jasa UK is coming, AMSA Nigeria can think of contents like having members maybe from UI, from members across different institutions to make short videos and express their wish, express their greetings. So these contents like this, they are content showing faces. They are contents. They are real contents. Like so and they are contents that usually get more engagement because there are people in it, and there are face that people are seeing. So and they don't require much edit, like something like the letter of guidance that we're doing. So such contents so are good, and they are necessary for our social media pages. But contents like of course we all use social media we all use social media, and we see um people can often make a short video from their kitchen while cooking, and so natural content like that are not really edited. Some of them do get edited a bit, like such an example is what we did for the past demand. It's a combination of about 3 or 4 videos that are joined together. Of course, that's an edit, but it's not really. So it's not a content that we require you to make a to finance to make a budget on lightning or on mic on. So they are contents that are often um made by users, and they are real content that often gets that often gets engagement on social media. So just to I would like to wrap it up within 4 or 5 minutes. So we have time created for the next speaker. I'm sorry I'm taking much time. So there are some skills that a a PR officer should have, and in order to have to to make a great content and have a great content strategy skills. So there are skills around writing, designing, and of course making visuals. So these are these are postings. These are videos that we make and edit. So and for the part of writing, as a public relations officer, or as a as an AMSA member that is intending to engage in making posts, you have to be at least not you don't have to be a perfect writer, or like Malam Abbas Baji, or something or someone of his caliber. At least you should be able to write something that is clear and that people can read and easily understand. So these skills are necessary, and of course you get to improve on them, to know how you write captions, to know how you write news, to know how you make quotes from speeches and the likes. So these are kind of the skills that are necessary someone that is aiming to embark on PR efforts. So, and to come to conclusion, to wrap it up, I I have some other things here, but I think have them shared later on in the presentation I'm going to make. But I would like to add this part. As there is also a key part of PR and social media management, and that is crisis management. And that is when things go wrong, or when you post, posting online can can be of different experiences, and it's often, yeah, and it often can be of the negative experience. When you post some things and you get criticized, people giving you comments, bad comments, and comments that will prompt you, or that will make you think of considering to delete what you post. So this is a key part of what we should know. And I no, first I'd just like to cite a sample before quoting what I want to quote on what also said on this recently. So during our last each teamer at Ede, so there is this news. I guess many of us we should be able to relate to this. News from TVC and AIT. So they reported that they interviewed Sadao, and what they use as the lead of the news. Of course, they mentioned that, of course, the convention is aimed to promote peace, guiding youth across the nation, and fostering the true Islamic values. But what they use as the lead of their coverage was that Sadao was calling that Sadao called that Islamic Sharia should be established. And although he made some quotes that kind of related to that, but that was not the message he was trying to pass. So in order to correct that notion, of course, we for some of us that saw the video, like AIT, TVC, and the post, even the AIT video we shared on MCAN Facebook page, we had many comments, even from members and non-members, that they criticized the organization for calling for the establishment of Sharia law in the country. So what we did to address that was that we had to make to work on another news and pay a blogger to publish it, like and also a press organization to publish it in so the like it's the correct notion of what Sadao said, like that the presidency should endeavor to enlighten the masses on any 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 law or any new thing the that his office is aiming to establish in the nation. So we had to we had to pay a blogger to write the news and publish and and have that published. Sorry, please, just pay me a minute. So I just think it's a crucial part of what I should that I shouldn't miss, because there are sometimes that we post and we get feedback that are not what we expect. So in situations like that, we must find a way to to pass our message. And of course, situations like that is a test for us, you know. There and I haven't mentioned it. After we made our post, AIT later deleted the post, like they deleted the video that they posted on Facebook and other other platforms. So it was a test for us, and which we try to respond to in a way we find best. So lastly, and in conclusion, so we as Ahmadis, we need to be careful of what we see online, and how we react. You know, we have some something divine that we represent, and we need to be careful of what we post and how we we respond to messages online. You know, of course, you as an Amadi, maybe now, like last just yesterday, we MCAN embarked on Twitter trend. So you as an Amadi, that you joined the trend and posted contents that was used for the trend. So of course you posted contents that are related to Islam, to the true teachings of Islam. But if before joining that trend, if you've been using your account to engage in things that are not right, is Islamically, you know, that's that's like you are not, of course you're not representing the association rightly, and it's going to affect the rate at which people pay attention to you. Because what's you know, sometimes it's just a post that or maybe a comment you made which is not good enough, that someone will see and use it to make a final conclusion of you. So we need to be careful of that, and of course it's not everything that we see on that we need to respond to. So during the in a recent Friday sermon that Zoak das made on June 6th. So I'll just say this quote to wrap it up. So he said, "Today people become self-proclaimed scholars on social media and start responding to non-Ahmadis and clerics. However, Ahmadis should stay away from this. If a response is required, then they should consult with the scholars and knowledgeable people of the community, so that such responses that can be given are truly strong and can refute the allegations." He also said that if instead of responding to abuse with language that sparks the spread of chaos and disorder on social media, we were to prostrate before Allah the Almighty, if we offer our prayers with care, if we adopt such pain in our positions, which shares the honor of God, then we will quickly attain much better results than the results people seek to attain by responding themselves. So these are words of the holiness that is getting us to know what to say. And of course, if we can't know it all, we can always ask to know what's best to say in necessary situations. And of course, it's not everything that we have to respond to. So I with that I would like to bring my section to an end. I sincerely apologize for taking much time and and not touching the other necessary things that I I had planned to intend maybe during the question and answer sections, if we still have some time, we can still touch those parts. So thank you for listening, and in fact I plan to engage on this while discussing, but because of the time, and hopefully during the question and answer sections, if you have some things to discuss. So thank you for having me. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Wa alaikum salam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Jazakumullah khairan for that wonderful masterpiece. I'm very sure the public relation officers in the house have benefited from it and have gained a lot. Jazakumullah khairan. Once again, may Allah continue to enrich you in knowledge. And moving on to the next session, which is titled Visual Identity and Brand Management. And that will be anchored by Brother Abib Tijani, a product designer for Farm Pro Analytics. Bismillah, Brother Abib Tijani.
Sorry, can you all hear me?
Yes, you can hear you.
All right. Yeah. So actually, I don't know if I'm to cover, like, if I'm to structure my discussion on a general space, or I should just talk it through like the Jamaat level. So this is going to be a very short because I believe we have graphic designers in the house, and I'm very certain they are capable graphic designers. So I don't need to be explaining, though I'm still going to have to talk about it for those people that are yet to be aware of those things. So, but then I believe we have capable designers in the house and capable PRs. So in some cases, I'll be making references to what the first speaker had said earlier. So everything is intertwined. So also when it comes to Abakat, once again, I appreciate the leadership of AMSA Nigeria for their for this opportunity. So I'm actually pleased to be here. So without wasting much of our time, so I'll be talking on visual identity and our brand management. And as we all know that everything falls on brand development, and what are the impacts of your visual elements on your brand development? So the two things comes together. Without your visual element, there's nothing to develop on. So if you don't have your visual element combined in either in your logo, in a color, or even in your typography, this thing, you won't be able to showcase what your brand is. So I'm going to be talking basically on some key milestones in brand development. So firstly, I'm going to be talking about logo. I'll talk about colors and the typography. So for a graphic designer, they should know that when you are going through the fundamentals of graphic designing, you should understand these three things very well, because they are the things that will say much about your brand. So when creating your logo, just have it in mind that you are pushing out your brand identity. As we all know that in AMSA, we already have a logo. And most of the people that are familiar with our brands, or most of the people that are familiar with this association, they already know that, oh, anytime I see a design that looks like this, yeah, this is from AMSA. I'm not talking about in the last 10 years or in the last 15 years that we have some kind of diversified designs. But I'm talking about recent designs that there's a lot of consistency. And that's one of the things I'll also be talking about when you're talking about your the brand guidelines. So the first thing is your logo. So our logo shows our brand identity. And if most of us take note, most of these bigger brands out there, they have all their visual elements on the logos. You might not know, if you go into the etymology of all these logos. Take for example, Honda, for example. Honda has all the elements, talking of HONDA, in that single logo, if you break it down. So your logo shows the your brand identity, either your color or your typography. It shows everything. So the first thing is your logo. Now moving on to the second thing, which is your color palette. So for a well-trained, apologies. So for a well-trained designer, either you are a product designer or you are a graphic designer, whenever you are pushing out a design, or whenever you are working on an organization um, work, you should know that there should be some certain color palette you are meant to be using. Don't just pick, oh, this is green, I'll pick it. This is red, I'll pick it. Even the red you are seeing has different color keywords. So these are the things we should take note as a designer. I don't know much about PR, so I won't be really leaning towards the PR part. So I'll be talking mostly to the designers in the house. So your color palette should speak. So your colors are your brand recognitions. So there are some brands, like I said earlier, they don't have colors. They don't give colors to their logos. You already know that. Even without you seeing the logos, you know that, okay, this is how Apple logos looks like. This is how Nike's logo looks like. And if you are talking about some brands that have no colors on their logos, then in that aspect, they are only showing you their brand identity. They are not showing you the recognition. Fine, you can recognize them with their brand identity. But what brings out the main recognition is the color. Is it red? Is it blue? Is it green? Now that brings me back to AMSA as a case study. In AMSA, we have two colors we make use of. That's the red and the green. So most of most of these people, or most of the unit people, might not know about this, but we make use of, either it is a primary color or it is the main two colors we make use of in AMSA. We make use of the green and the red. And talking to the designers, green color portray peace, nature. So when you're talking about peaceful things, something about nature, then you should be referring to green color. So, and as this organization is under a religion banner, then green should portray peace, because we are under the banner of Islam. So in that aspect, green is portraying peace. Now the next one, which is red. So in some cases, yeah, some designer might say red is portraying violence or some other negative words. But in other words, you shouldn't forget that red is portraying love, it's portraying passion, energy. So this passion comes with what we have in line with what we are passing across. Are you passing the message of Almighty Allah, or you are passing the message of the Holy Prophet Muhammad Sallallahu, then you should be passionate about what you are doing. Not like, oh, they've given me this responsibility to do, then I have to do it just because I want to do it, not because you are passionate about it. So these two things we should take it into consideration. That's the second thing. Now, going forward, we have the brand guidelines. So we are going to we've established some guidelines in AMSA, and this is being consistent in our designs when you are pushing out designs. And that's one thing I would like to encourage us, probably after this session, that we should try to do some kind of um, checks on all the designs that will be passing across on either the unit level, state level, even the national levels. There should be consistency in our designs that will be pushing out to the social medias. And that brings about trust. There's a difference between people recognizing your brand and there's a difference between them being loyal to it. They can recognize it, fine. But are they loyal to it? Are they willing to read the content of what you are passing out to them? Because, okay, fine, I'm on a social media and a PRO from AMSA Lagos sent a design to I'm just using them as an example. I'm not I'm not criticizing anybody. So a PRO from AMSA Lagos posted something. Now, okay, they want to do annual propagation week. So fine, I know that okay, this design is from AMSA, like AMSA generally, not even me checking the chapter this time around. But I know this is coming from AMSA. But like am I moved to read the content? Because okay, fine, I've been seeing fine designs from AMSA Nigeria, but when I see this design from AMSA Lagos, for example, I said, oh, what is this? That means the consistency is not there. They're not following the pattern I'm already used to. I can recognize it, but I'm not moved to read the content because of the consistency is not there. So we are building this thing across many platforms in which some people don't even know the in-depth of what AMSA is. But the message you are passing across to them is making impact. So that's the guidelines. So we should take note of the guidelines that AMSA has already laid down. Now we have websites that we make use of. Then the consistency as well should be in our mission. What we've started portraying initially from day one down to the present age. Same as our social media strategy, just like the first speaker had said that we should be strategic in terms of our communications. So moving on, I'll be touching on the essential elements that we need to take note when pushing out designs. So, like I've said earlier, we should define the color. So that has already been defined. We make use of red, make use of green. It has been defined already. Then we should be creative in terms of putting out designs. Fine, we are graphic designers and we are pushing out static designs. But your static designs has a story to tell. So you don't just design a graphics because you want people to see, oh, I'm a professional graphic designer. I design beautiful designs. And if we have product designers in the house, that's where the UX part comes in. I used to tell my guys that the graphic designers also do the work of UX. That's the user experience. Because you need to know the kind of audience you are pushing your design out to. If you don't know them, then you are just designing for beautification. You're not designing to tell them stories. I want to tell them, I want to say some things about the lives of the holy prophets. I shouldn't be bothered about is my design beautiful. Fine. If you follow all the principles of design, then people will be moved to read your content. And that's where the consistency and the flexibility comes in. You have to be flexible to what your audience are willing to take in. That's your loyal audience, people that already know AMSA, people that are willing to read your content. So if these people are already waiting for what you want to push out to them, then you are pushing out something different. You are being rigid about, oh, I'm AMSA. Fine, we are AMSA. We portray the lessons of the Quran and the Holy Prophet. But at the same time, I'm not saying you should push out negative content, but at the same time, you have to be flexible with the social intake of the people. Yes, you need to watch your boundaries as well, but then you have to be flexible in that regards at the same time. So that's where being creative. Then moving on to the main thing for today, which is the color, the logos, and your typography. 1 second, please. So I'll be going first with the logo. So a logo that isn't just a symbol, it's the face of the brand, and it is what people remember, identify with. So just like I said earlier, we already established this. Logo is already in our existence. Though if there's going to be some kind of rebranding, then some things needs to be defined. We need to define what are the necessary things we need to put in place? Is the logo portraying what exactly the mission and the purpose of what this organization is? So we need to define all this. I won't dive much into this because um I don't see any kind of error in the logo we are making use of. So like I'm going to be going more deeper into the typography and the color, and that's where most of the designers from unit levels, state levels do make mistakes. So the colors you are making use of when you are designing um a flyer or anything, it triggers emotions and creates perceptions. So I want to push out a cultural designs for Happy Ramadan or Idul Kabir or Idul Fitri. Then I'm using red as my background color. Fine, red means passion. But in that regards, this is a cultural design. I should make use of something that is pure, something of unity, because yes, these cultural things are things that brings Muslims together. So you should be thinking of colors that portrays unity, not colors that brings about that has any forms of negativity that people that don't really know much about visual identity will now be saying, oh, because fine, most people might not even know, but people that knows about these things will be saying, why are they using red for designing a festival flyer? So you need to go deep. Like you need to understand the what you are trying to do and the kind of audience you are trying to push this thing out to. So it builds trust and excitement. So that when I see your design, first thing will be, oh, I want to download the design, I want to screenshot it, I want to save it, I want to repost it. I'll be glad to do that. So that's you being flexible and being consistent about the cultural aspect of designs. So firstly, I will talk about hello.
Yeah, well, it's
Yeah,
just
yeah.
say.
Okay, apologies for my network. So all what these things are. So now moving on to the next one, which is the typography. So typography means your font. So they are often overlooked. Actually, most of the designers they just pick fonts and they start using them. So, and what we don't understand that this makes a lot of differences in how we communicate designs or we communicate our brands in general. So, I'll take for example, I have sans serifs and I have serif fonts. So, serif fonts are fonts that portray strong words. So if you want to emphasize on a particular things, you can go with sans serifs. So these are the little things, these are the fundamental things that we need to know as a designers. Now going with serif fonts. Serif fonts are serious fonts that all these organizational brands make use of. So believes these are things that designers need to take note of. So I'm just trying to point out things that we need to take note of when we are pushing out designs. Now the next thing, I think I'm getting to the end of this slide. So now there's going to be I'll do a recap. I think I'm done already. So I'll do a recap. So I talked about consistency and flexibility earlier on. So there should be consistency and flexibility in your visuals. That's the element that you make use of in developing your brands. So your consistency build trust. You make use of the same fonts, the same logos, the same colors. So people knows you for red and green. Be consistent about it. And your flexibility also, it allows creativity so that you can be diversified in terms of you want to do a seasonal designs, you want to localized versions. So you won't be rigid about, oh, I'm not for people will now know you for a seasonal designers. Okay, he is only good when he wants to design a festival design. He's only good when he wants to design for parties. If you see some party designs, you will be glad to download it because like the anesthetics will be given. So those are the things I think we need to take note of. So and also it helps in effective communication because when your designs tells the whole story about the brand, it tells the whole stories about AMSA, even without we having one-on-one conversation with the people that are pushing all the design to. I'm talking about secondary people that are not inside the Jamaat. They will be able to understand. They will have a basic understanding. Okay, well, these people are association of like they are student association under a Muslim society. So it's something we should take note of. So getting
Hello, the speaker. Um, Salam alaikum.
Voice, actually, about it. So I think the speaker lost connection a while. So I don't know. It's not on the call at the moment. So maybe you just move on to the next program, which is the question and answer for the fourth lecture. Then probably in the later things. Then we have him back on the call. Friends, I give this up.
Um,
Yeah, the speaker is not on the call at the moment. I'm trying to reach out to him on WhatsApp. So
okay,
probably
do
his
that.
network. So I
So
suggested
while
that
we
probably
wait
we
for
move to the
that,
next.
yes, yes. While we wait for that,
Jazakumullah.
we can keep the question coming so that the first speaker can also be noting it down and then they will answer eventually. Okay, back now.
hello, assalamu alaikum.
Why Salam? Welcome back.
Yeah, sorry. That was apologies. So just to round everything up. So just like the first speaker had said earlier, so the key element to enhance the communications of our designs. So we should always lean on audience feedbacks. So it helps in terms of developing what we've already laid down. Then also engaging content drive audience. So like you post something on the social media, you should always check for people's comments. What did they say about your design? It is not always about them saying that, oh, the content, making comment about the content. There are some people that they are always there to just criticize your designs. Now, always take criticism as a means of development. It might be a negative criticism, it might be a positive one, it might be a constructive one. Always take it as a form of as a means of development. So thank you very much. I'll just stop here because I think I'm having a little bit of network issue. Thank you very much. Somebody comes to the
Jazakumullah khairan. Sorry, I didn't get what you said last. My network was.
Okay, he has concluded his lecture. So
Jazakumullah khairan. Um, thank you very much, Brother Abid Tijani, for your session as well. So without wasting much of our time, I think the next item is question and answers. So let's keep it coming while our esteemed speakers can respond to that. Jazakumullah khairan. So I think you can just indicate by raising your hand so that we can give you the floor to ask a question. And as well, you can make use of the chat box if you have any issue on meeting your.
okay, very beside. So while we await the questions, I don't know if I can just share some few things I would like to add just briefly.
Yeah, yes, please.
Okay. Okay. Jazakumullah khairan. So and I a great kudos to the lecturer, the second lecturer. He has sincerely touched some of the other parts that I would have also liked to. Of course, I would have also like to mention that's uh that is also kind of related to what I would like to say. So just in a little addition to what he also mentioned, I remember something like a few years ago, there was a unit that embarked on a design. So and though it was done out of creativity and sincerely it got people's attention, but we later it wasn't from AMSA national leadership. It was also from MCAN leadership that we received a admonition that we should stop the unit from embarking on what they're doing. So what's what they were doing, it wasn't about their design actually, but it was like their content. During the month of Ramadan, they started what they were posting during the month of Ramadan. So during the month, there are many units that will always come to live and engage in designs and also share things to show that their unit are always sharing something in the element. So what the unit did was that so they have a good designer, but their contents are all written in pidgin language. Like all these say they feel say so those kinds of stuff. And sincerely, though, when they embarked on it, I was just curious. There's this kind of state that we don't want to kind of discourage them by stopping them, and of course and it was more because what they are doing was getting people's attention, and of course they're passing good message. But because AMSA as a brand, AMSA as an organization, we have what we represent, and uh, to protect our audience understanding of the organization, and as a student organization, it was kind of giving a it was kind of portraying the organization like like when you or just to put it in a simple and clear state, like you are attending a seminar where professionals are seated and you have to speak like people who have spoken great grammars, clean English, and you now stand up to speak in pidgin. Of course, even if what you are saying is meaningful, but they look like your how they are going to perceive you to score you to to like their view of you will always have something attached to it, even for the fact that what you are trying to say is meaningful, but the way you've chosen to say it, they are, of course, I'm not totally saying that that AMSA as an organization can't embark on content with pidgin language. Just the just media team do embark on video content that will involve people speaking in pidgin, in Yoruba, and in Hausa. But sometimes it's the way we package it. So I just thought of adding that. And also, what I also like to mention is that, like, because AMSA has always have engagements on with as we always been having contents to post, and the and especially from the national level. But I think more of what we need to do as an organization now is to use is the opportunity we have, or what I can refer to as force. We have many units. So if and to have a yeah to have uh a great uh, identity and showcase what we truly stand for. Of course, the national body can keep doing theirs, and of course, but from the unit level, the more is expected, and it's what and they are just like I mentioned, the lo-fi content, like they are the one that can make these contents more. Of course, the national body can also engage um in these contents by pushing some people they have access to. But of course, the unit needs to do more, and I think this should be an assignment for the AMSA leadership as a whole. Like, we should try to engage the unit organizations and also find a way to get them active on their social media pages and even if they don't have a full team yet, but at least if they can be creating content for the national, they are they are the one at the local level, and they are the one at the institution. They are the one relating with people, so it's going to say a lot about the organization if we have more content from them. Like for example now, uh, if UI as a unit is having an like if they are known for an event they are having, like maybe they are embarking on public talk, maybe they are like and it's institution like LASO is embarking on clean your environment program, like converging people on campus and maybe trying to clean a place and taking pictures, and so things like that are are there are stories that are newsworthy, that are newsworthy, so that they can send to the national level, and the national level can work on it to get published on their page, on the national page. Of course, the unit level can also publish it on their pages. I don't know how often we also get to 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 watch or to see to view activities of AMSA in other countries as well. Like from what I could see recently that AMSA UK is doing, like they do have like their institutions, they do have like seminars that they use the schools or classrooms, that even they invite non-Muslim friends to their programs, and they post these things. So and I must also add this, that PR officers, they are the like they are the chief of all secretaries. Like what I mean is this, you as the PRO, you are the content creator of your unit, you are the content creator of your office, and so you are the brain box of a unit, and of course, as a PR officer, you must always think of having something created. Like you must always create the content, and it is when a unit is active that you have something to create and to post from. It's not always enough to be posting. Of course, these things are good. I'm not trying to say they're not good. They're perfect. Like having to post quotes of the promises Messiah and all these things. But still, we need to act, and that's the most challenging thing now that is affecting Islam generally. Of course, we have many people that are claiming they are Muslims, but instead they are terrorists, and they are doing, and what they are doing, they kept doing it and showing and trying to confuse people that they are they are confusing and even convincing people that Islam is not a peaceful religion. But we have this understanding that Islam is a peaceful religion. We have this question to keep asking ourselves: how loud are we with the peaceful actions, or with the peaceful tenets of Islam? Of course, Islam is a peaceful religion. How many events are we holding? How are we trying to portray it to people? How are we trying to convince people that indeed our religion is not of terrorism, or is not of anything that is related to, so what I'm trying to say, of course, it concerns us all, but as PLO officers, if your unit is not doing anything, or if some officers are not active, or if not, they are not doing what they should do, as a PLO, you have to push them, you have to give them ideas. Let's do this. Of course, there may be shortage of resources, but still, there are some activities that are not really consuming that we can always embark on. And an example is like blood donation, and what I earlier said, like we can come together to clean a part of the campus, to to portray Islam's tenets about cleanliness and purification. So there are many things we can do, and as Ozo has always said it, with our prayers, anything is possible. So I just think these are necessary things that we should work on. And for the national body as well, I think of course we are active on our social media pages, but we need uh, to work on our website in order to have people know more about AMSA. Of course, it's not everything that you can put on social media. There are some things that with with a website, it's going to be well packaged, and it's going to portray our mission and vision in a better way. So these are just few things I think I should add. So may Allah make it possible, and may Allah strengthen us all. Assalamu alaikum.
Oh, well, listen to I really appreciate your contributions. So the VP side is not on the call at the moment. So I actually thought you say you took me a few minutes to respond to your messages. So I think we're on the part of the question and answer. Probably the question might have changed your mind why lecturers are given the additional package that they have for us. So if there is any, you can just signify or type a question in the chat box before we move on to the next agenda of the list. Does that mean? It seems our members have already got all the message and have digested, and I think they are going to execute and put all these things into consideration, then put it into act. Oh, friend side, he left already. I saw him just. So just happened. Members are responding that they got the message. Actually, they want to. They are not in the other side of strengthening our lecturers. So just happened. So I think we are going to move to the next agenda on the list here, which is the closing remarks from the public relations department. So I think we can have that now.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Alhamdulillah, 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 Rabbil Alamin. We give thanks to Almighty Allah for granting us the opportunity to gather here today for the purpose of learning and growth. On behalf of the Ahmadi Muslim Student Association, AMSA Nigeria, I sincerely express our profound gratitude to everyone who made it for today's National Public Relations Seminar. Who made the National Public Relations Seminar a meaningful and impactful experience. To our esteemed guests and participants, the PRO of each unit and states, and other members that joined, we thank you for your time, attention, and valuable contribution. Your presence here has elevated the quality of this program. We especially appreciate our respected speakers, Brother Abikodri Olarewaju, for his enlightening session of the strategic community and public engagement, and also Brother Tijani Abi, for his expert insight on the virtual identity and brand management. Your presentation were not only informative but also inspiring and practical. To our AMSA president, Brother Abdul Kudus, we are grateful for your leadership and thoughtful welcome address that set the tone for the seminar. And also to everyone who engaged in this session and took something meaningful away. We pray that the knowledge gained today benefit us in all our personal development and service to AMSA, service to Ahmadiyya. May Almighty Allah reward us and continue to strengthen us all. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
وعليكم السلام ورحمة الله وبركاته. Exactly for the word remarks. I think the present side is there itself. So I didn't like you have to say to the members on the call before we call it a night. Present.
Assalamualaikum.
Yeah, on the already done closing remarks, sir. So I saw I need to be the call. That's why I
Yeah. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My journey has been quite fluctuating since. I'm really sorry about that. Okay. Jazakumullah khairan to the speakers. I do appreciate your time, your sacrifice, and all we can do is just to continue praying and put in effort as much as we can to make things better. I have noted some things worthy of note, particularly from the first lecture, the importance of feedback, the important especially when he was discussing it with respect to CTO. So and how we can really assess our performance, our publicity performance, and to make things better. Well, I have already idealized something on that I inshallah will discuss with the publicity team. So and I do hope that the president in presence as well, I mean the unit and state president in presence as well, must have noted some things that need to be addressed. So please, let's not just have this in vain. Should work towards actualizing things that have been mentioned. And as regards the second lecture, I believe those that are public relation officers here will resonate better with that. And I hope that we work towards those things. May Allah continue to strengthen you, the speakers, and us. May Allah continue to help us. May He help us actualize these things. It's not been easy. You can see the attendance is very, very poor, but still we are putting in our efforts. We just pray that it yields positive results. So we'll just keep doing. We keep trying new things and see which one works best. May Allah continue to strengthen us. I mean, and Jazakumullah khairan for everyone that was in attendance today. You are highly appreciated. Jazakumullah khairan. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. I think we can have the closing prayer now, right? But as well, do you have anything else? Eh?
Nothing else. I don't know already.
Okay, all right. So let's have the closing prayer. You can say Surah Fatah Darud. Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Alhamdulillah Rabbil Alamin. Ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Maliki yawmiddin. Iyyaka na'budu wa iyyaka nasta'in. الصراط المستقيم صراط الذين أنعمت عليهم غير المغضوب عليهم ولا الضالين آمين. اللهم صل على محمد وعلى آل محمد كما صليت على إبراهيم وعلى آل إبراهيم إنك حميد مجيد. اللهم بارك على محمد وعلى آل محمد كما باركت على إبراهيم وعلى آل إبراهيم إنك حميد مجيد. ربنا تقبل منا إنك أنت السميع العليم وتب علينا يا مولانا إنك أنت التواب الرحيم. سبحان ربك رب العزة عما يصفون وسلام على المرسلين والحمد لله رب العالمين. آمين. آمين. السلام عليكم.
Well, so,